Hey healthy gamers, this is Jack here bringing you another healthy gamer video. This one is going to be all about your monk's equipment and stats post to 1.0.3. So this is after the increase to attack speed nerf. So a lot have changed in the game since the beginning, so this is just going to update you on what you want to look for in your weapons, your equipment, and your stats. So since they nerfed attack speed, the new thing is critical hit chance. So you're looking for a critical hit chance and then critical hit damage, and having those two stats along with a high dex and some decently high DPS weapons will give you some ridiculously high DPS. And also if you take the Scoundrel, he has a skill, let's see, that increases your critical hit chance by 3%. So take the Scoundrel, and my crit chance is sitting at 39% right now. You can see my DPS is sitting at almost 31k unbuffed, so I like to use Breath of Heaven a lot, so activate that, 35k. Activate Blinding Flash, 53k. Activate Mantra of Conviction, and it doesn't show up on your tooltip, but that's another 48%, so that's a ridiculous amount of DPS if you stack those stats. And now, in addition to your critical hit chance and damage, you want to stack your dexterity. 1400 is about a good number to shoot for. Look at me, I'm elite, 1337. So, and then after that, you want to do your vitality and stack your resists. My resists are generally pretty low as far as the resist goes, but I find I can do Act 3 just fine, just because the DPS is so high. It allows you to kill mobs that much quicker, that you don't even need to have that high of defenses. And then life on hit and then life steal is huge as well, and I find if you can do a ton of DPS, I think life steal would be almost better. I'm gonna make a video testing that out soon, but it's also the cheaper option, but getting life on hit is really good. Try to get about 800 and then you should be fine in Act 2 and most of Act 3. Now we'll just go into every piece of equipment and what you should be looking for on that piece of equipment. So here's my helm. The helm has critical hit chance, so you want to definitely find a helm with critical hit chance. You also want a socket on there and put a plus life % socket in there, and then of course vitality, dexterity, and resist if you can find it. Shoulders, kind of the same thing. It doesn't have crit chance or crit damage, but you just want to get shoulders with high dex, high vitality, and resist all. Amulets can have some really good stats. If you want a cheap amulet, find one with critical hit chance. Some more expensive ones will have critical hit chance and damage, and also increase attack speed, and then also life on hit. So kind of look for an amulet with all those, but your priority is your critical hit chance and your critical hit damage. Chest, you want to find a chest with sockets, and since I'm kind of low on life, I put socketed mine with vitality gems. So again, dex, vitality, resist. Gloves are another slot that has some really good stats. It can have critical hit chance, critical hit damage, and increased attack speed. So the best gloves you could find would have increased attack speed, critical hit damage, and critical hit chance, as well as dexterity, vitality, and resistances. You can see mine don't have all of that because those are some expensive gloves if you have all those stats. And bracers also have critical hit chance, so you want to make sure you get bracers with critical hit chance. And in addition to that, vitality, dexterity, those sorts of things. You can find it bracers with reduced damage from melee attacks is really great for monks as well. Now rings, kind of the same thing as amulets. You want to get critical hit and damage on there, get some plus life, and then the really expensive rings will have critical hit along with increased attack speed. So those are my two rings. And pants, kind of the same thing as chest. You want to get pants just with high straight stats and sockets if you can. And boots, you want to get move speed on your boots. That really helps you out a lot when you're kiting, and just makes your runs go by faster. And then just your normal stats. There's some boots I think that have increased attack speed as well, but those are probably pretty expensive, so it depends on how much gold you have to spend. And then weapons are where a lot of your damage really comes in, and this is where I see a lot of people not gearing right. Is you can see both of my weapons have natural critical hit damage increase, and then they also have a socket where I've socketed it for critical hit damage. You can see right there 352%, and that is what's driving my DPS really, is that big critical hit damage percent, because if you think almost 40% of my attacks are crits, and now each one of those crits, instead of doing 100% more damage, is doing 350% more damage. So you want to find weapons that have critical hit damage and a socket, and then life on hit as well if possible, or life steal. And so I would say, in my opinion, I would rather have a 700 DPS weapon with life on hit, at least 120% critical hit damage, than say an 800 DPS weapon or 900 DPS weapon that doesn't have all of those stats. So that's what you want to look for in your weapons. And now for your healthy tip of this video. If you're doing cardio and trying to improve your cardio or trying to improve your weight loss, one good thing to do is to run outside and not do it on a track. That way, however far you go out, you have to come back. So for me, I hate running. I just don't enjoy running that much, and so I don't like to run that far. So if I'm on a track and say I'm gonna do 3 miles, like after 2, I'll be like, yeah, whatever, I'm done. But if I do that in the woods and I run, say, 1.5 miles out, I still have to come back. There's no way I'm getting back home or to my car unless I either walk or I run back. So that's a really good way just to force yourself to do however far that you say you're gonna do, and a good way to kind of keep increasing your cardio endurance and how far you go. Just run out a little bit further each time, and then you have to come all the way back. So try that out, see if it helps you be better in your cardio workouts and in your weight loss goals. Now let me show you some cool things going on in the forums. There's this power leveling farming thread, and I've been doing a few runs with members of the forums, and let me just show you a real quick clip from a run we did in Act 2.
Gets me every time.
I have that one on camera. So that's a lot of fun. Come join the community. There's a ton of posts in the Good Karma forums here. A lot of very generous people giving stuff away. And then the success stories. A lot of people have been having a ton of success finding really cool gear after they give stuff away. Like Chaz here, he gave some stuff away, and then he sold, found this almost 1,000 DPS bow, and then sold something on the Real Money Auction House for 60 bucks. So it seems to be working. You know, it could be all a bit of coincidence, but it doesn't hurt to help some other people out, and it seems like it's helping people out as well when they give. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you found these videos helpful, please hit like and subscribe and share on your favorite Diablo forums and your social media. That really helps me out a lot, helps me put out more high quality content for you. And then I got a lot of really cool stuff coming up in the next few weeks. I think that'll be really useful to everybody. So keep an eye out for that. And once again, I just want to thank everybody for being such great viewers. Please feel free to comment. I try to respond to all of them. If you have questions, post it up on the forums, and I will respond to it pretty quickly. So appreciate it. Thanks, everybody. Have a wonderful day.